So, I went and decided to go check my comments. And, if you go and type in trade logic, search that through all my comments, and, seems like people really don't like the trade logic in Madden 19. Looks like there's really no good comments about the trade logic. So I guess as a person who was able to play Madden 19 early at EA Play, and able to record videos in Madden 19, why not talk about it? And I got told by a friend of mine to go check the Madden subreddit, and there were screenshots of my videos all over Reddit, because people absolutely love the trade logic. So guys, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the rebuild video that got everybody talking in the background. Just keep in mind, I recorded this video at EA Play, so some things might change from now until the release, but I do want to talk about my experience of what I experienced in terms of the trade logic while I was at EA Play. Now, there are some differences, but from Madden 18, but I'm not gonna lie, a lot more similarities than differences. But you saw right off the bat that was a little bit of a difference when I offered that 63 overall running back for Zach Martin. The trade meter went up at 0, it didn't go up at all. Now last year, if you would do that for the same exact scenario, probably went up a little bit. I know you might not think that's a significant difference, but I mean I think it's at least a little bit of a difference. The only time last year, I believe in Madden 18 franchise, the only time I think the trade meter never went up was if you offered a punter, a kicker, or a fullback that was an extremely low overall. I might be a little wrong on that, but at least it shows there's a little bit more of a trade logic in terms of that. But yeah, trades like this normally probably shouldn't be going through in real life. And also the Zach Martin deal also, should probably be going through in real life. But a lot of it's still the same as it was last year. Now, from what I've noticed and what I noticed at EA Play, once again, the offensive linemen, for whatever reason, aren't really valued that highly. Really good linemen like Zach Martin and David DeCastro, I think I got in this video, or the Titans franchise that I recorded, they should not be that easy to get. All-pro linemen, you shouldn't be able to trade a backup running back in a 5th round draft pick and get a Zach Martin or David DeCastro. That just shouldn't work. But then it's confusing. I just don't understand how it works, because Zach Martin was extremely hard to get. In Madden 8, or easy to get. In Madden 18, you can get Travis Frederick or Tyron Smith pretty easily. I tried to get both of them in this video. You probably didn't see it. I tried to get them in my franchise series as well, and it didn't work. So it's some of the offensive linemen are harder to get this year, but there's still some that are extremely easy to get, like a Zach Martin, which makes no sense because he's one of the best linemen in the league. So in that sense, it didn't really change. Now, something that is also similar in Madden 19 that was similar in Madden 18, the first year it ever happened was in Madden 18. Every single, the most part, every single running back and quarterback on your team, or you sign out of free agency, as long as they were over 67 or 68 overall, depending on their age, if it was a 67 overall quarterback that was 38 years old, wouldn't have been the case. But for the most part, every team is interested in a running back and quarterback over that overall in terms of the yellow, and you can get a pretty good draft pick out of that, or package him in a deal and get a first round draft pick. If you also traded a 3rd round draft pick and a 70 overall running back, you should not be able to trade that for a first round pick. So that is something that definitely needs to be changed, and from what I've seen so far throughout playing at EA Play and throughout my franchise series that I recorded, that is pretty much exactly the same. Now, something else that is a little bit different, which for the people that are more for realism is a little you probably don't like, is I noticed throughout all these trades in this rebuild and through my franchise series that teams are interested in low overall players in terms of the green a lot more often. The amount of times I actually had teams interested in 69 overall outside linebacker and 69 overall lineman was insane. And if you have a team interested in a player, the interest level is green, there's not that much of a difference in how much they value a green interest level if it's a 69 overall green interest level and a 99 overall green interest level. There's a difference, of course, but what it really should be, there should be a much bigger difference in what they actually value those two scenarios, a 69 overall green interest and a 99 overall green interest. There should be a lot more a big gap there than it is actually in Madden 19 and as it was just in Madden 18. But like I said, the Madden 19 is you can get away with trading away players that are a little bit less overall than in Madden 18. Now, what I do want to say, something also that's extremely similar, is there are your players that are absolutely impossible to get. Once again, just like last year, in this rebuild, which you probably didn't see because I was trying to limit this rebuild to just showing you the trades that got accepted. I tried getting Antonio Brown in this rebuild. I think I traded the top 3 players we had on our team, and it didn't even get up like a fourth of the way. And yet you can trade a third string running back in a 5th round pick and get one of the best linemen in the league in Zach Martin. So that just makes no sense. But to be completely honest, we're just gonna be honest here. We're not gonna we're just gonna be just no filter. Literally the only difference I noticed in the trade logic, obviously with it being a new year, players in different years of their contracts, since this is Madden 19, there's gonna be some differences in players you can get easily compared to last year. But literally the only difference I saw was like trading lower overall like running backs and quarterbacks had like no effect on the trade interest meter. So like I'm not sure if that's really what you're looking for if you're more of a realism type guy, but I'm sorry to disappoint you. For the most part, that's the only thing that I really noticed was much of a difference. There was some players that, once again, for the realism crowd, you probably don't like this. Like, in my franchise series, I guess I can go ahead and tell you, you probably already seen it on my channel, I got Kelvin Benjamin extremely easily, so that just shows you, like I said, maybe that was just because he's like in a contract year or something, and maybe he has like no real time left on his contract, so he was easier to get this year. But there's some players like that you wouldn't expect, like when you played, if you were like used to trades last year in Madden 18, to be able to get this year. But there are some scattered through there. But like I said, it's really not that much of a difference. So I know that kind of sucks for some of you. But now, for just a minute, I want to talk about, I want to get your guys' feedback. What can they actually do to improve trade logic in Madden? Because at the same time, they're trying to appeal to 2 groups of people. To the realism crowd and to the people that just like doing crazy trades just for fun. Like, you gotta respect there's people that enjoy both things. But at the same time, you look at the real life NFL, and I was talking about this with somebody earlier, there's some wild trades that happen in the NFL. When you think about a Tavon Austin being traded for a 6th round pick, Jarvis Landry traded for a 4th round pick, Jason McCourty traded for, what, a 6th or 7th round pick? I know that's for different circumstances because, like just getting their cap off their books and stuff. But that's, how do you implement that into Madden? Like, how do you implement trade logic like that into Madden? Because that would be a trade that you look at in Madden and be like, if that, obviously, you know, didn't happen in real life, be like, dog, I just got a 90 overall Jason McCourty for a 6th round pick. That's insane. Trade logic's awful. But at the same time, that trade happened in real life. So, I mean, obviously I know you shouldn't be able to get Zach Martin for Nick Chubb in a 5th round pick. But at the same time, you gotta draw a line and figure out what you have to do to appeal to both crowds and how to actually make it realistic, because there are some instances in the NFL that stuff like that happens. So I think it's just because there's not that many trades in the NFL. So I think it's really hard. Like, it's not me getting on my knees for developers. But at the same time, you gotta think about how hard it would actually be to develop extremely realistic trade logic in terms of the NFL. And that's what this video is for your guys' feedback, because obviously, if you watch my channel, I'm just not a realism guy. Like, I try to just entertain, and some people find entertainment by just some crazy stuff like getting a Zach Martin and then stacking a team. But so I don't have the best of opinions on how to actually make the trade logic as realistic as possible. But for you guys out there that are about realism, let me know what you think about that in the comment section below. What do you think they should do to improve the trade logic in Madden 19? But I do want to say, I just apologize. I'm sorry for the bad news, but I for the most part, just to be completely honest, from playing Madden 19 at EA Access and for the franchise series, and what you guys have could tell, because I literally uploaded this rebuild. I've had literally every single video I have uploaded since I've started uploading my footage from EA Play. Every video I have a comment of somebody complaining about the trade logic. Number one, I feel like half the people think it's me that implemented the trade logic. Dog, it's not me. In these videos, you gotta keep in mind, I'm trying to entertain, and I'm trying to make the best teams possible. So if I have to get a Zach Martin that just requires me to trade away a 3rd string running back and a 5th round pick, I'm gonna do it. But at the same time, it's just hard to appeal to both crowds. But this is what these type of videos are meant for, to engage the community and see what you guys think need to be done to have trade logic be better for both crowds moving forward for a Madden 2020. Or maybe they still have a month and a half left until the actual Madden comes out, so maybe they have some time to actually get some feedback and actually try to change some stuff. So with that said, also I want to point out, It sucks because the stupid glitch where you trade for a player or trade for a draft pick and it doesn't show up immediately, you have to back all the way out and go back in to see that player, that's still there. And I like implemented my feedback, and hopefully they saw that and see that and fix that. But that's annoying, and that's still there. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but pretty much it's exactly the same with very minor changes. But that's just me being honest. So I'm sorry if you didn't enjoy this, but if you didn't and you still like me as a person and as an individual, it'd be cool if you could drop a like. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you are new and turn on the notification bell if you haven't. With that said, I'll catch you guys next time. Have a great rest of your day. God bless and peace.